Alright, hello, welcome back. David Kinder here. This is my final video on the different portions of the one card system, and I'm finishing off with the textbook, Building a Financial Services Clientele. I have not fully read the 12th edition, which is the version I now have. I have had a couple of versions of the 10th edition, which was before social media. This was back, I got my copies from 2006 to 2009, got a couple of them here and there. By the way, before I forget, getting the one card system, if you are a Northwestern Mutual agent or a Mass Mutual agent, you can get the whole system at a discount. You just need to find the right purchasing link. Not sure if they actually verify, but hey, whatever. I have been appointed with Mass Mutual. I have a current ID, so I know I'm fine there. The system is taught in the textbook, and you learn how to put everything together in the textbook. And so this is a good textbook to review. Just keep in mind that if there's some part of it that you're not going to do, make sure you know why. So for example, when I talked about the card file box, normally the system tells you to do it around age change, but I'm doing it around the date that I implement the case. So if you're going to deviate, know exactly why and don't deviate from that, at least if you can at all help it. Talks about building a long-term career, the research, understanding the original system, which is use the card box for at least 90 to 180 days, so 3 to 6 months. I'm planning to do that. The success manual, putting it all together, the technology in the one card system. Just because this is manual and you're handwriting everything doesn't mean it doesn't have plenty of technology in it. This is a complete practice management system. And I believe that every agency that is successful has its roots in this, whether they implement it using card files and written planners, or they have everything on a CRM program that they happen to make work for them. They're using it based on the principles in here. So I believe that this should be a required textbook for managing yourself and managing your activity. And then you can adapt things as you go. So for example, one of the things that the card file box, the idea was that, well, you need to keep in contact with your prospects. I have an email newsletter service called Active Campaign. I have something else be sent out once a week, every week for a year, and then it'll repeat the cycle again. So I don't have that particular issue. So I'm not going to be calling people up just to keep in touch. I'm going to be calling people up to say, the last time we spoke, we talked about this problem. Do you still believe that that you want to solve that problem? Have you tried to solve it yet? I can help you solve it if you want to allow me to solve it, that kind of a thing. There's some other sales skills that's being taught in here, how to do a fact find interview, soft skills for pre-approach, phone activity, and approach. There's all kinds of industry training for that. You just have to figure out what sounds best for you and for the way you want to work. The closing and decision interview, delivery post-sale service, the conclusion. There's all kinds of great stuff that's in here. But if you've had other training, you're going to be overriding a lot that's in here with the training you've already received. Okay? You just have to be conscious of why you're deviating from what's in the book. Because what's in the book, quite frankly, it's kind of on the basic side. But I'm going to use the tactics and the tools to help me to bring an elevated conversation, elevated services to the people I'm targeting for those services. So that's why I'm doing it this way. So the textbook, fantastic. By the way, since I'm going to be referencing this book a lot, one thing I did before, and I'm going to do it again with this copy, is I'm going to take it over to my local FedEx office or to Staples, some office supply place that does printing, and I'm going to have them, they're going to cut the binding. I'm going to have them do a coil bind on this, so you can open it up flat. In fact, you can fold it behind itself and be able to mark it up, write in the margins, do whatever you need to do, because I want to be referencing this. I want this to be well used. That's the whole point of it, is I want it to be well used. And so I'll probably do that tomorrow. So anyhow, that is the textbook. Highly recommended reading. Go through it every once in a while. But keep in mind that you probably might have some other training that you prefer. Nothing wrong with that. The only thing is that you need to know consciously, why are you doing the things the way you're doing them compared to what is being taught here. By all means, deviate. Just deviate consciously. So I think that's it. I wanted to just give an outline of all the different tools, and I'm looking forward to really putting this into proper practice, because with this, I already feel a certain peace of mind that says that I have a system I can rely on. I have a system. Well, let's put it this way. There's a book that I read years ago called Getting Things Done by David Allen. And one of the things he talks about is having a mind like water and being able to have your mind free. But you can't engage in high levels of productivity. You can't engage in massive action activities if there's an open circuit. If you're afraid of losing your place, if you're afraid of dropping the ball somewhere, that means you have a hole in your system somewhere and you got to shore it up. And instead of me trying to hunt and find an electronic version, I decided that's it. I'm going to a manual version. I'll upgrade to electronic later if I want to later. Which reminds me, I'm going to go back to another point that I wanted to make in this video. And I hand wrote this, so forgive me, but this was my own notes for myself. Let's see if I can see. So forgive my doctor's handwriting, but prospect client management system. The first level, suspect inputs. This could be leads, lists, business cards from business canvassing, personal contacts, etc. However I'm getting people, this is the first stage. My goal with these people here is I'm going to try to contact them 4 times within 30 days. After 30 days, they're either moving into the next step or they're being tossed out. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time here. My goal is to get them in and get them out. Get them in, sort them. Which way are we going to go? Now, the card file box or the working box, which I talked about, the yellow prospect cards. If we're going to be engaging, they're probably going to become a prospect, which in my case means that we're going to set them up with a joint mentor webinar. We're going to share with them the work we do. We're going to make sure that what we do is what they're looking for. And then eventually they're going to graduate to become a white client card for ongoing, future follow-up. The CRM will help me track open cases, will help me track client cases, and any case archives. If I happen to drop a case or I'm going to drop someone, you still have to keep an archive of all that stuff. So all of these can work together. Again, the CRM, I look at that as a repository. That's where I'm putting my notes. I'm putting my PDFs. I'm putting anything I'm writing down. I'm going to scan into a PDF. I'm going to upload it to the CRM. It's a retrieval system. It's not a good tickler system. My tickler system is my card file box. Now, my issue with most CRMs that try to be a tickler system is they try to assign these tasks into my calendar. And to me, that doesn't work very well. It's not a phone appointment I'm scheduling for 11 o'clock. It's that I want to be, if I happen to be available at 11, I want to make that call. But don't put it on my calendar. I think that's the way almost all electronic CRMs go. My goal is I want to get all my calls done by noon. And then if I need to make another set of calls later on, I'll do it then. So that's my mentality. Pardon me. Again, wherever I'm getting names in from, personal observation, personal contacts, business cards, lists, leads, whatever, try and call them 4 times in 30 days. After 30 days, throw them out if you haven't reached them or anything. If you reached them, we're either going to become a prospect. It might not be a prospect. They might say, you know what, I'm really interested, but I'm so busy with things at work right now, I just don't have time. You say, I can understand, I can appreciate that. There is no time limit, but I would like to share this with you while the tax breaks are intact. Can we get together in the next 3 months? That might work. So you complete a yellow prospect card and you put it for the follow-up time at that point. Then once they open the case, you put it to the open cases. Then, you turn it into the white client card after they've bought. Okay, and then we put them in the system to make sure that we keep in contact with them. So all of it can work together. That's my mental map on making all these pieces fit together so I can have a large flow. If I can prospect, or if I can process 100 names, 300, 500 names a month, through this kind of a process, that would be a beautiful thing. That's what I want to be doing. But I couldn't do it without a system to help me to manage that process. By the way, there is a cap on this. Once I have 20 open cases, and that was a number that was set up by our financial group's founder, Tom Love. He said, he doesn't know anybody that can handle anything more than 20 open cases. So when you have 20 open cases, you pause everything. You work those cases. The thing is that if you've been around this industry long enough, you will hear from different speakers that will tell you, well, I did something that was so successful that I stopped doing it. And that's because they didn't have a fail-safe metric installed in their mind or in their system that says it's time to pick the phone back up. So when it falls below 15 open cases, it's time to pick it back up again and get another 5. Whether you're getting them by referral or you're going back into your prospects that you've talked to before and say, no, we have an opening at this point. I'd like to share with you more of the work I do. And even if we don't do business, maybe we could show you what you can expect from working with us should you decide to do business with us, whatever it's going to be. But you need to have your fail-safe metric installed. For me, that's when if I look at like a gas gauge, if 20 open cases is full, then 15 open cases is 3/4 full. I don't want to get down to half because that looks like a lot of work. That would be 10 open cases. If I get down to 1/4, that would be 5 open cases, and I'm probably feeling like I'm on fumes. Something might be going on psychologically here. I want to keep my tank as full as possible so that I can keep prospecting psychologically easy on me, because I'm not prospecting out of my need. I'm prospecting to offer an opportunity. And if I can do that, prospecting is the much better game. But if it falls too far low, then I'm prospecting for my need rather than prospecting to present an opportunity. So that's one reason to keep that case pretty high. So I just went through a whole lot of stuff there. Hope you find that helpful and useful. I'll leave it at that. Thanks for listening and make it a great day.